Magnolia, Ark. Behind a balanced and efficient offensive attack, the Southern Arkansas Mulerider football team treated the Wilkins Stadium homecoming crowd to an impressive 4,919 win over number 25 Southeastern Oklahoma State, and in the process moved into a four-way tie atop the Great American Conference standings. Related Week 7 AFCA Poll 5 takeaways from Week 7 rankings. The Mulerider offense finished with 572 yards in 77 total plays at 7.4 yards per play. Sou went over 250 yards rushing for the second time this season, while its 306 yards passing marks the third game this season with 300 or more yards through the air. It is the second contest this season in which the Sou offense provide 550 or more total yards of offense. Southern Arkansas rose to the challenge on Saturday afternoon and set the tone early as the Muleriders scored touchdowns on their first 4 possessions of the contest, while limiting SOSU to just 53 yards of total offense in its first 5 possessions. Southeastern Oklahoma answered with the remaining 9 points of the first half as the Muleriders took a commanding 289 lead into the intermission. The Muleriders would add a touchdown in the third quarter, while holding the Savage Storm to a field goal before the final 15 minutes of play. In the fourth quarter, SOSU scored less than 3 minutes in, to pull within 2 possessions, but it was all Southern Arkansas down the stretch as Sou scored 2 more touchdowns to distance themselves for the pivotal league win. FBSO football showcases offensive firepower in 4,919 homecoming win over 25 Southeastern Oklahoma State. Muleriders Let's Ride the GAC. Pick.twitter.com Roswiv9E, Mulerider Athletics at Mulerider Sports. October 21, 2017. The win is the second straight over a top 25 opponent and the first such win at home under current head coach Bill Cable. The Muleriders defeated 15 Henderson State 5024 last season at the Murphy USA Classic in El Dorado. The 30-point margin of victory for Southern Arkansas is the second largest in the series, with Southeastern Oklahoma State that has totaled 42 meetings. The largest margin of victory in the series came in 1982 when Sou defeated the Savage Storm 363 in Magnolia. The win marks the 10th straight for the Muleriders in homecoming contests. On the ground, highlighting the ground attack, was senior running back Michael Nunnery, who carried 24 times for 114 yards and 3 touchdowns. The touches, yards and touchdowns are all single-game highs for the Muleriders and Nunnery this season. The 100-plus yards is the 4th such game for Nunnery this season and is also a season-high yardage total. Breaking down the top 25 by the numbers supplementing Nunnery's performance was Kadri Purifoy, who carried 11 times for 76 yards and added an impressive first-quarter touchdown run. The 26-yard score saw the sophomore bully his way down the home sideline for the game's first points. Barrett Renner added a rush for 35 yards and Sir Charles Perkins carried 7 times for 35 yards as well. Southern Arkansas rushed for 11 first downs and averaged 5.8 yards per carry. The Muleriders' 4 rushing touchdowns are a season high on the ground. Through the air once again, Renner positioned himself atop the list of another impressive career record as he broke the career touchdown passes mark with a 50-yard strike to Kerwonce Higgins in the fourth quarter. Renner currently has 84 touchdowns passing after throwing for 3 scores on Saturday afternoon. Renner finished 20 of 31 passing for 306 yards and the aforementioned 3 scores. The redshirt junior found Garrett Turnbull twice in the win on scoring tosses of 52 and 11 yards and hooked up with 7 additional receivers, including Higgins, who finished with 6 catches for 89 yards. More 5 surprise teams to watch heading into postseason. Darian Ardwan and Jared Lancaster combined to catch 7 passes for 94 yards. The 52-yard touchdown pass to Turnbull is the longest of the season for Renner and a career-long reception for the former, while Renner's 9.9 yards per pass is also season high. The Rolette, Texas native also became the program's leader in touchdowns, responsible for which now stands at 86. With his 306 yards through the air, Renner is just 131 yards away from becoming the program's career leader in passing yards. Defensively, Southeastern Oklahoma State became the 3rd Mulerider opponent to be held under 55 yards rushing. The Savage Storm were limited to 284 yards of total offense. It was the 4th time this campaign that the Sou defense held an opponent under 300 yards of total offense. The frantic activity of the Mulerider front 7 resulted in 9 quarterback hurries and 3 tackles for loss, while the secondary registered a strong performance as well as Sou picked off a pair of passes, including a first-quarter interception by Jimmy Houston and a late fourth-quarter interception by Kobe McDonald. The interceptions were both firsts for the respective players in their career, and each pick led to Mulerider touchdowns on the ensuing offensive possessions. Lamontrick Turner led the defensive effort with 7 total tackles, while Elgin Moore, Darren Crawford and Anthony Washington each added 5 stops. Kasim Smith knocked away a team-leading 3 passes, while Travis Williams led the front end of the attack with a trio of quarterback hurries. Southern Arkansas forced SOSU to kick a pair of field goals, while also stopping a PAT attempt. In all, the Muleriders held SOSU to just 42 yards rushing, 5.0 yards per completed pass, and allowed just 2 successful third-down tries in 15 Savage Storm attempts on Saturday. Up next, the Muleriders prepare for their 79th meeting with Henderson State 44-44 GAC next Saturday in Arkadelphia. Kickoff from Carpenter Haygood Stadium is scheduled for 2 p.m. The matchup is part of the 2017 NCAA Division II Football Showcase and will be streamed live on ESPN3.